They look like Chinese weapons, or at least some kind of Asian weapons for sure. So I don't know where they're going with that. What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 56. And before I begin talking about all the wonderful things that I have to tell you in this episode, birthday shoutouts. Happy belated birthday to Justin Monte, FV Gaming, RGF Paul, Justin Bradley, and also It's Crypt. Happy belated birthday, guys. I hope you guys had a good one, and I appreciate all your support at the Ragin Nation. Thank you very much. As for the rest of the shoutouts, you're going to have to wait till the end of the episode. So let's talk about the filming of Transformers last night that is going on in Detroit right now, and specifically at the old Packard plant, which is being set up and prepared for filming because MLive.com, that's Michigan Live, posted on their website a gallery of photos of what is going on, and I am going to do a little bit of a commentary on a couple of these photos. For example, we're going to start off with this one, which appears to have a crashed Cybertronian ship. And it's the side of the ship, like a panel. Maybe, you know, the ship came apart, but we have like one of the side panels that is just like taken apart, and it's crashed into these buildings here. Speaking of crashed into buildings, we have this train which has been derailed, and yeah, this doesn't look good. I don't know how it got there. And now here's a wide shot of some of the buildings at the old Packard plant, and what you can see here is two trains that got derailed. I have no clue how they ended up on the top of the building. Maybe some Decepticons threw it there. Moving on, we got drone ships. And then afterwards, we got a close-up shot of those two trains. And it looks like they're still building the set because you can see that, you know, we got this wooden framework. So the set isn't 100% complete. And then we have here, what do we got here? Oh, we got a side of a building. We have another part of the drone ship, which is not complete. Another side of the building. We got some drone ship parts. This appears to be the big laser gun that's at the front that you know, fires out guns, like fires out lasers like cannons. Here is another shot of that derailed train, or two derailed trains, and then it looks like that's it. So what do I gather from this? Well, it looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like Chicago, specifically that scene where Sam Witwicky and Sergeant Epps and his team of special forces were walking towards downtown Chicago to rescue Carly. And right before that happens, drone ships come down to attack them. That's what that scene, that's what all these photos remind me of, and that is the scene in Transformers Dark of the Moon, which leads me to believe that this is Chicago. And it is in fact Chicago because I was reading the rest of the article, and it says that those two trains read that they're from the Chicago Transit Authority. So that is in fact Chicago. It might not necessarily mean that it's the exact spot that that Sam and Epps were walking in, but it shows you that Detroit is actually standing in for Chicago. And also, the most bizarre part of this that I gather is that they haven't cleaned up the mess that is in Chicago. You know, the Battle of Chicago, the big Battle of Chicago from Transformers Dark of the Moon. In Transformers Age of Extinction, there was some news footage showing that there was a crew cleaning up the big mess from the battle and trying to repair all the wreckage. Well, apparently that ain't so. Maybe this is leftover wreckage that they haven't cleaned up. Maybe not that much time has passed since Age of Extinction. Or this is entirely new wreckage. It could be entirely new wreckage, but it's either one or the other. Okay? So very, very interesting to see that. I'm going to leave you the link to that photo gallery in the description box below. Make sure you check that out. It's very, very interesting. Speaking of Transformers Dark of the Moon and Sergeant Epps, it looks like Tyrese Gibson has some good news for us because he posted on his Facebook something very, very exciting, and I'm going to read you what it says on the post. It says, here we go. 3 guns, not here to play any games with anybody. Throwback Thursday. I have some good news to share soon. Just know this. I've seen everything you guys have posted about Epps. I love you back. And it's, of course, a photo of him as Epps in Transformers Dark of the Moon. And you know what? It looks like he's back. Like, there was no way to really know for sure if he's really going to be back. I mean, he could be back because Josh Duhamel is back, but he might not be back because, well, it's been a while since Michael Bay made that post about about Epps wanting to, or Tyrese wanting to come back. It's been a long time, and maybe Tyrese already knows that he's back, but he's prolonging it to make it a surprise for the fans. So it's very, very, very possible that he's back after all. You can't have Lennox without Epps, or Epps without Lennox. They're kind of a team, even though they're separated and doing their own thing. They work well together. That's how they were introduced in the first Transformers film. So that's going to be pretty exciting to see them back. They do have a very, very a fun dynamic to them. I mean, because Sergeant Epps is, of course, the wisecracking, funny a soldier character, where Lennox is actually the take charge, no nonsense type of leader. So they have this really fun chemistry and character dynamics that they have going on. So I hope to see them back. Moving on, let's talk about Excalibur. And I know that Excalibur and the whole story about Merlin and the Knights of the Round Table and magic and all that stuff, and King Arthur, that's all just I guess you could call it a rumor, but it was a leaked plot rumor, okay? And I want to talk about that. And, well, Excalibur is a weapon, and there is more credibility leading to that because of this photo right here, which was posted by the Box Bros. Box Bros LA on Instagram posted a photo of this, which is weapons, medieval weapons, and there are all kinds of things like helmets, shields, spears, swords, and it says right here, Box Bros LA. Box Bros shipping out props from the next Transformers movie. Wow. So, King Arthur takes place during medieval times. These weapons look like medieval weapons. And why would they be showing medieval weapons? And medieval weapons for humans. After all, it is a Transformers movie. Maybe, and you know what? It looks like this is all coming together, and that leaked plot synopsis looks like it is really true. I'm not going to say 100% true, but at least the part about King Arthur, Excalibur, Merlin, that's starting to feel very, very real. And this is evidence of that, and this is medieval weapons. Now, when I'm looking at these weapons, I don't know very much about medieval weapons and, that time period, but I've seen a lot of Chinese movies, and some of these weapons, especially these spears, like these long weapons, they look like Chinese weapons, or at least some kind of Asian weapons for sure. So I don't know where they're going with that. Maybe they're not actually shipping all of this, but those look like Chinese weapons, okay? So I hope they get it right. I hope they don't just throw in whatever weapons they see, because Michael Bay is known for, doing things like that, and, like inaccurate things that relate to history. But anyways, this is what was posted, and which leads more credibility to the King Arthur story. Maybe there's going to be a really, really brief flashback scene where you see knights and soldiers fighting with each other, like medieval infantry of some kind fighting with each other, and that's why they need all these weapons to be a part of the production. So there you have it. You guys can follow Box Bros LA on Instagram. Maybe they're going to post more photos later on, okay? Moving on, let's talk about another photo that was revealed, or rather shown, and this is from Michael Bay himself, and that is of Squeaks. You remember Squeaks? Squeaks was first known to us in that plot leak from Joe Blow. So, once again, it appears there's more credibility to this because Squeaks was teased to us from a couple of Twitter videos that Michael Bay posted on his Twitter account, and now he posted photos on his Facebook. And check this out. This is really interesting design. This is a really interesting design. I'm going to read you the post here. My talented young co-star of Transformers, Isabella Moner, and introducing a new character, Squeaks. The first thing I noticed was the way that the name was spelt, with 2 E's instead of an E and an A. Now, the second thing I noticed is, of course, the fact that Squeaks is a funny-looking robot, an old, beat-up robot. This is Squeaks. This is his robot mode. This is not his Vespa mode. A Vespa looks like something entirely different, but this is what Squeaks looks like, and it is kind of odd. Now, the first thing, of course, you notice is this is a practical prop. By practical prop, I mean that is a physical prop. It is not CG. This is actually there, and it could be physically interacted with. And from what I gather, based on this other photo, check out this close-up photo, his 2 headlights are his eyes, and this little metal piece at the bottom, that's how he speaks, and it appears to be like some kind of like a speaker of some kind, and that's where the audio from him comes from. That's what I'm guessing based on this design. And you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of a lot of things. For example, WALL-E, the black hole. You know those robots in the black hole, those floating guys? It reminds me of that. In fact, a lot like that. It reminds me of BB-8 because of the fact that BB-8 is a practical prop and a practical effect. And it also reminds me of Short Circuit because of the big eyes. And I'm wondering why Michael Bay is going in this direction of having this prop. You know, is it because of like the BB-8? Is it because of that? And why did he decide to make the eyes, the big eyes, the headlights, or make eyes out of the headlights? Is it because he sees more innocence in a character with big eyes? You know, look at Bumblebee. He's got these big round eyes, and you know, when you saw the way he was reacting when the humans tried to capture him in the first film, you can see that there's this. You can see that he can really emote and really show like emotional pain through that. So maybe that's the direction he's going on with this character. Now, of course, once again, I've been reading all the comments about this, and there has been a very, very mixed to negative reaction. Not so much positive stuff. There's not a whole lot of positive things to say about it from the fans. A lot of fans just don't like this idea, and I think that it's mainly because of the design. The design just looks really, really odd. It doesn't look like any of the Autobots that we've ever seen. It looks like some kind of weird human creation. And I'm just thinking, you know what? You really shouldn't take this at face value. And by face value, just looking at what you see and then judging right away. Being so quick to judge. Even though it is a practical effect, don't forget that they made a statue of Bumblebee for the first film for static shots. That's why they had the Bumblebee, and it didn't look very good, but make no mistake about it. This is an effects-driven film. Squeaks is going to be a CG character. He's only like this when he doesn't really need to move. Like, for example, Frenzy. Frenzy is actually a combination of CG and puppetry. I think that it's going to be the same thing with Squeaks. There's going to be a little bit of animatronics, remote control stuff to make him move. But it's also going to be a lot of CG, especially when he transforms. And I think it can look pretty cool. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying that just because, well, Industrial Light and Magic, they do, quite a good job with their CG. So another thing that I'm wondering is, why is he so beat up? Like, did he go through a battle? Like, was it, did he go through a lot of car accidents or something like that? Why is he so beat up? And I can think of just a number of things of where his origins are from. Okay, it could be one of these things. He could be an Autobot. And I don't think he's an Autobot. I actually just think he's a neutral character that belongs to a human, Isabella Moner. So he could be an Autobot, and he came down with the other Autobots when Optimus Prime made that call at the end of Transformers, the first film, and he could be one of those Autobots, and he happened to be hiding with Isabella Moner all this time. He could be that. So that's A. B, he was built by Cade Yeager, because Cade Yeager is, of course, an inventor. C, he could be built by Isabella Moner, because maybe she's smart like that. She knows how to do that sort of thing. And I think that's about it. Those are the only real options. He's an Autobot, he's a Cade Yeager creation, or he's an Isabella Moner creation, or she just found it or him. So, and that's maybe why he looks like that. He looks like that because he's a creation, like a human creation. So, who knows? But that is the sidekick of Isabella Moner, which lends more credibility to that plot leak. Everything seems to be coming together, and that plot leak seems to be more and more and more real. It seems just more legit as we see more of these posts and more news. So that's what's going on with that. And also, the last thing I want to talk about is Megatron. So we know that Megatron is back. Michael Bay posted that on his Instagram, and we were shown this photo right here, and that is, of course, of Megatron. And you know what? We couldn't really see that much. There, you know, there's all we see is the face, and it looks like some tusks. There's some red on him, and that's about it. Now here is Megatron version 2, and I'm calling it version 2 because this one looks a little bit, looks the same but different. There's more detail added to it, and it's a wider shot because you can see a little bit more. You can see the like a bit of the neck down, but still you don't see that much. But I'm pretty sure that this is Megatron at this point because Michael Bay posted on his Flickr account that it says here, Megatron. So it looks like this is Megatron, and he's taking on a very, very different form, especially a different head sculpt. Because in the first 3 films, Megatron had a very, very similar looking head sculpt, right? His face looked the same, and you could always tell that that's Megatron. And then when he's Galvatron, you know, he looked very, very different, but still you can see there's influence from the previous head sculpt. But this is completely different. He has these tusks going on. And now let's take a look at Megatron face version 2. It's been updated with these Cybertronian glyphs on the top, and also you can notice his mouth. You can see more detail on his mouth. I'm not too crazy about that mouth and the way it looks. And you know what? I'm also going to give a shout out to Red Goblin on TFW2005.com for brightening up the head. So check this out. Now with the with more exposure added to the image, you can see the shape of his head. It's rounded off. You can see more of those Cybertronian glyphs. You can see a little bit of the area below his neck, and you can see specifically the shape of his head. And the shape of his head is kind of like it's kind of like a rounded off version of his G1 head, but the face definitely not so much. It's got this very beast looking face, and I'm wondering what it's going to look like when he talks. And I'm really curious about it because you know, for all the Transformers films, with the exception of Bumblebee, all the you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the characters had mouths. Even Optimus Prime with his faceplate, he removed it when he needed to talk so you can see his lips move. So I'm just wondering, what is Megatron going to look like when he talks, or if he's even going to talk at all? Is he just going to growl? Because we did hear growls when you know, the very first reveal of Megatron was there. We heard these growls. Is he just going to growl? Is he even going to talk? Or is this like a battle masked version of Megatron, and then those tusks disappear and it reveals a mouth? Who knows? But anyways, that's my theory. But another theory that I like to put out there is that this like this tusk, like alien beast looking version of Megatron, I think this is the introduction of Beast Wars. I'm not Beast Wars specifically, but beasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the like you know, Beast Wars characters. I'm thinking this could be the introduction of the potential for Beast Wars. Maybe in Transformers 7, they're going to introduce more animalistic type of Decepticons, and maybe Autobots need to adapt to that, and then they have to have their own beast modes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking this could be a beast mode for Megatron, because he just looks like a complete beast with those tusks on him. So anyways, that's my little theory, and I think it's pretty exciting if that could happen. But what do you guys think? You know, is that Megatron's final form, or do you think that it's actually a battle mask? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this episode. I'm going to do shoutouts now for those that retweeted me. A lot of you guys retweeted. I told you guys that if you want to get a shoutout, I'm going to be doing random shoutouts for those who retweeted my last video on Twitter. So just follow me and retweet the video. So here are the shoutouts. Thank you so much to Hunted Pie, Jasmine B, Bernardo Arguelles, Easy Vintage, Evil Twin, Game Dog 7414, AJMC, Brenda White, Jake Hupp, and also Bella Rose. Thank you so much for retweeting my video. I appreciate the fact that you are helping me bring more awareness to all the news that is going on with regards to the production of Transformers last night. I think the production is very, very exciting, and I just want everybody else to experience more of this excitement and anticipation for this huge, huge film that is coming out next summer. I want to help you guys get hyped up for this, get pumped up for this, because I'm really, really pumped and excited. And I just love, I guess, surrounding myself with this people who share the same interest and excitement and enthusiasm. I love Transformers. You guys love Transformers. So let's just be excited together. Anyways, I have more news for you guys. This is the Ragin Nation, and of course, the Ragin Nation, I have this web series, The Road to TF5, and what this is about for the new subscribers, for that is watching. We talk about the production of Transformers 5 and everything leading up to the release of Transformers last night. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @Ragin Nation. I will also have some trivia that I'm going to post on my Instagram account, at The Ragin Nation. So make sure you follow that. And I'll see you next time. My name is Alex. Peace. But I just think that the fact that it's a single take of the Decepticons rolling out is so cool. For example, we got Barricade